everybody, my name is Leah. I'm here with 4AR people and we're back with another video. So as you know, we were in legislative session. It started on January 13th, and on Tuesday, January 14th, Governor Huckabee Sanders gave her State of the State address. And so this video is going to be me reacting to it, just talking about things that she says and maybe fact checking a little bit. We'll see. So stay tuned for the whole video. If you're interested, like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, and stay tuned. Let's watch.
Mr. Speaker, for what purpose, Mr. Sergeant of Arms? Admitted to the Governor of the great state of Arkansas, the Honorable Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Mr. Sergeant at Arms, please admit the Governor.
Standing ovation. You know what? I respect how she goes up to the Democrats and like shakes their hand and is cordial and nice. You know, that's an interesting part of politics for real.
Mr. Speaker, it is my honor as the President of the Senate to present to this body my friend, the best governor in the United States of America, the Honorable Sarah Huckabee Sanders,
The best governor in the whole United States of America. What do y'all think about that? Let me know.
When I took office, I was the youngest governor in the country, and I promised to bring a new generation of leadership.
How old
And
is
over
she?
the past 2 years, Arkansas has been the vanguard of a national conservative revolution.
She's 42 years old. Youngest governor in the United States, 42
But these
years old.
victories don't mean, and as my kids, much to their disappointment, and I regularly remind them, that is actually still the case.
42 is the youngest
Although
governor in the
my
country.
youngest George recently heard me say that and replied,
I guess
"You're
that's
the
young,
youngest
but
governor in the country?" I said, "Yeah, George." And he goes, "Well, Mom, the rest of them must be really, really old."
I'm glad her kids roast her at
But
home.
whether you think I'm
So we don't have to do it.
or really, really old, the results of our first 2 years speak for themselves. Our economy is up. Crime is down. Education is improving.
Economy is up, crime is
Arkansas
down.
is
Education
growing.
is improving.
And the state of Arkansas is very, very strong. One of the most difficult days that I've had as governor came last summer when a gunman opened fire at the Mad Butcher grocery store in Fordyce, Arkansas, and senselessly killed 4 Arkansans and severely injured 9 innocent people. 13 Arkansans, 13 lives, 13 everyday heroes. But I have always believed that we are not defined by the problems that we face. We are defined by the way that we face our problems.
When I was in the gallery and she
We
said
will
that,
face
let me pause for a
those with our
second.
head-
She said, "We are not defined by the problems that we face. We are defined on how we face our problems." And when I was in the gallery, this guy was like, "So true," or whatever. And I was like, "She's got a fan club. This woman has a fan club." So anyway, just wanted to say that.
Reform comes up more often than Arkansas learns, which passed
Learns.
by an overwhelming margin thanks to the work of the members here in this room. I now hear from teachers who are earning $50,000 a year for the first time in their life. I hear from teachers who have earned thousands of dollars in merit bonuses for the great job that they're doing. And it's not just the money. It's feeling recognized for the work that they're doing and the way that they pour their heart and soul into the kids of this state every single day.
Okay, I have to say something right quick.
I hear
Learns. The controversial Learns. You would think she would be like, "Oh, Learns has benefited this many students from this many communities." And like she would talk about the students that it's benefiting because that's like the goal of it, right? But notice she focuses heavily on the teacher raises, which is arguably the only uncontroversial part. I think most of us can agree teachers deserve more money, right? So she's talking about the uncontroversial part of Learns, and she's not talking about the controversial parts of it, including like they don't like the fact that it's going to apply to every student and not specific targeted communities does not prevent students who are already in private school from getting discounts on their education. I wish she would talk about the controversy of it all, but of course she's not, because she's trying to brag on herself, so she's going to use the only good part about the act itself. So we're going to keep going and see. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see.
Who recently enrolled in St. Teresa's here in Southwest Little Rock. Elijah is
St.
here with us today.
Teresa's. Surprise,
His father,
surprise. That
Stephen
sounds like in
Gadberry.
a
Elijah, you wanna
religiously
wave to the group?
affiliated school. Oh yeah, they were Father Stephen Gadberry. So
Father Gadberry's leadership at that school should be an inspiration to all of us. St. Teresa's is a Catholic school, and many
Catholic
of its
school. Okay.
students come from Central Arkansas's Hispanic community. Before the LEARNS Act, most families had to scrape and save just to afford the school's modest tuition. LEARNS
Modest
flipped that
tuition, that's
equation
crazy.
on its head. Elijah's parents had sent them to their local public school, but they knew that they wanted a faith-based,
how much
smaller
is the
environment
tuition at St.
that met
Teresa's? Let's
Elijah's
look it up right
needs.
quick. Modest tuition. Let's see what she calls modest tuition. All right. Tuition for pre-K 3 and 4-year-olds is $6,775. And then the discounted rate for contributing Catholic families, $5,290.
Today, I'm announcing my plan to improve our state's higher education system, Arkansas Access. Together, we will expand Arkansas access to higher education and non-degree credentials, whether their path comes straight after high school graduation or many years down the line, like Tiffany. That starts with making applications easier. We will make it so that you can submit one application, pay one fee, and use the same application for any state-supported college or university in Arkansas.
I like that. Making the application process easier for sure. And then also like cheaper. I mean, I don't think there should be a fee at all, but yeah. Okay.
Arkansas students go to our colleges and universities to be educated, not to be bombarded with anti-American, historically illiterate, woke nonsense.
Okay, here we go. No. Here we go. What are you talking about? She said historically illiterate. And then she said woke nonsense. What could this woman be talking about? Brace yourselves. Let's do it.
So that any professor,
The applause is crazy.
we will make it so that any professor, tenured or not, that wastes time indoctrinating our students instead of educating them can be terminated from their job.
Okay. Pause that. Let's process together. I don't know. What gives her the gall? What gives her the audacity? First off, okay, indoctrinating children in like elementary school, middle school, whatever. That's one thing. I still think that's silly, but that's one thing. Indoctrinating full-grown adults, college students, 18 and up people who willingly choose the classes they take, like, and can drop those classes. Like me personally, I went to undergrad. I'm in law school now. I've chosen every class that I've taken. I have not been indoctrinated. And just because someone agrees with or disagrees with you does not mean they're indoctrinated. Also, professors, you're going to tell professors how to teach college courses now? That is wild. I'm like processing that. She said tenured or not. Tenured or not. What? That's insane. Anyway. Wow. Let's keep watching. Let's see. Because It was good, right? It was good at first. I'm sorry, I'm going on a rant at this point. It was good at first. Arkansas Access, expanding access to higher education, making the application process easier. Yes, that's a good thing. And then you had to throw in. You just had to throw in. Oh, and professors, you'll get fired if you teach historically illiterate, which is wild, historically illiterate, woke nonsense. Who are you? Anyway, let's move on. I'm sorry. And then it gets a standing ovation. What the world? It gets a standing ovation. Well, from half the room. The front half of the room. Oh, I guess there's some... Yeah, y'all say something, because what the heck?
We will address the skyrocketing cost of higher education by funding college credits while students are still in high school, and expanding scholarships to associate degrees and non-degree credentials. And we will change our higher education funding model so that it puts state dollars behind all types of degrees, bachelor's,
See, I agree with that.
and non-degree credentials. For far too long, students have been told the lie that the only way to be successful is to get a 4-year degree right out of college, right out of high school. When this body passes Arkansas Access, every student, young and old, will know the truth. Every Arkansan is unique, and every education journey will be unique too. The investments we make today in education will have a payoff long time down the road. In the meantime, Arkansans are struggling with the high cost of groceries, gas, and just about everything else.
I thought she said the economy was better.
The good news is that in just a few days, the reckless tax and spend policies of the Biden administration will be over, and we will have President Donald J. Trump back in the White House fighting for every single American.
Girl, why are you... Why bring them up? This is your state of the state. Talk about you. Talk about what you've done. Don't talk about what other people have done. Also, it's like, are we paying for you to go to the inauguration? Are we paying? Because we all know she's going to be there. Come on.
Arkansas ranked #1 in the country for economic growth, #1 in the country for inbound movers, and #1 in the country for having the lowest cost of living.
All right. So she said, #1 in the country for economic growth, #1 in the country for lowest cost of living, and then #1 in the country for inbound movers. So inbound movers are basically people coming from other states to Arkansas. And I think that has a lot to do with people in blue states moving to red states. That's not like because also it could probably have to do with cost of living. I'm not going to lie. It's probably the cost of living, but then also that little like red flight to red states. But anyway, I say all that to say, yes, we're #1 in those main 3 areas that she likes to mention constantly. She mentioned it in her little campaign ad. She mentioned it here. But she doesn't talk about what we're last in. Notice she can't say we're #1 in education, because we're not. We have the highest maternal mortality rate in this here United States. We're like one of the last for like economic opportunity. So you know what I mean? It's just interesting that she doesn't mention that, but of course she wouldn't mention that if she is bragging on herself. I just wish she would have addressed that a little bit at least, and like talked about maternal health care and Arkansas mothers and Arkansas pregnant people. Like, that's all. I'm gonna keep going though.
In my opinion, Arkansas is blessed with the greatest asset any state could ever hope for: good, generous, hardworking, God-fearing people. At the beginning of my speech, I mentioned the tragic shooting in Fordyce and the 4 Arkansans that we lost that day and the 9 who were injured. Those on the scene know that it could have been many, many more, if not for the action of brave heroes like Dallas County Sheriff Mike Knadel. Within minutes after the first shots were fired, Mike and his officers were on the scene, returning fire to the gunman, distracting him, and allowing victims to find cover and escape. Immediately after they apprehended the gunman, Canadal organized transportation and aid for the wounded. In the days and the weeks after, he helped raise tens of thousands of dollars for the victims and their families. When a tragedy like this happens in a small town in Arkansas, it's personal. These victims weren't just citizens in Mike's county. They were his neighbors, his friends, people he knew by name. For him to have found the energy and the courage to lead his community after this terrible event shows the strength, the courage, and the faith of this great hero. I have the opportunity to meet so many incredible Arkansans when I'm traveling around the state. And I believe that they deserve more recognition than a simple mention in a speech or in the newspaper. So today, I'm announcing the Arkansas Medal of Freedom that will allow us to recognize and to honor Arkansans who have distinguished themselves in service
The Arkansas Medal of
to
Freedom.
their fellow citizens. And I cannot think of a better person to receive the first Medal of Freedom than Sheriff Canadal. Mike, if you could please join me at the podium. So
What does the
that
medal
this
look like?
distinguished chamber and our entire state can recognize you for your bravery and for your service.
What does the medal look like? Oh, she like actually had a medal made? Oh! It looks like the Olympic bronze medal. Oh, but it's like half a circle or something? What is that? Or, oh no, it's just in a shirt. Oh, there you go, there you go. That looks like an Olympic medal. Good for him, good for him. Good for him.
As Mike exemplifies, Arkansans are the kindest, most hardworking, most generous people on earth. As their public servants, let us walk in their footsteps. Let us live out their example every day of this legislative session, with the people as our priority and with God as our guide. We will build the state that our children and our grandchildren deserve. God bless you. God bless the great state of Arkansas, and thank you for letting me be here with you today. Now let's get to work. Thank you so much.
Let's get to work. All right. Well, that was a doozy. Final thoughts. My final thoughts are she's really good at doing something good and then throwing that one bad part in there. Like, she has a talent for it that's very interesting. Like with Arkansas Access, it's like obviously expanding higher education is a good thing. Expanding access and making it easier and more accessible is a good thing. And then you just had to throw in that let's fire woke professors bit or whatever. That's not good, and it's also irrelevant to what you're actually trying to do, because firing professors does not have anything to do with making higher education more accessible. It's not the professors that make higher education inaccessible. It's just like you don't like what they're teaching, so you want to stop it. Like, it just doesn't make sense. So it's things like that. And then obviously Learns, it's like take some accountability for the problems of Learns. I would have loved for her to do that. Take some accountability and show us that it is actually helping students like it's supposed to. Would have been a good thing. But I don't know. What do y'all think? Sound off in the comments below. Like I said, we're still in legislative session, so maybe some of these things will come to fruition, and we'll see what happens. I know on Wednesday which is the day I'm recording this, they passed a resolution to get a 4-day break so some of them can attend the inauguration on the 20th. Which is like, I need to know who's paying for that. Like, I know for the legislators, surely Arkansas taxpayers aren't paying that. But for Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders, I want to know who's paying for her to attend this inauguration. Well, guys. All right, guys, that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. If y'all liked it, comment below. If y'all have thoughts on the governor's State of the State address, let me know in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. All those buttons are there. And follow our legislative session coverage. We are on Instagram. We are on Twitter. We are on Blue Sky. We are on TikTok for now until, something happens to TikTok. We are on YouTube. Follow us on everything. Those links will be in the description below. And, yeah. It's been real. Have a good one. Bye.